So if you are wanting to play along with my music or your music or no music, sound of your animals, your people, whatever, feel free to do that. And just find a place to begin this morning that makes sense in your body, or maybe if you're doing this afternoon. And just take a moment, instead of just dropping right into stillness, see if there's any little movements that need to happen in your body, or maybe your body has been moving for a while and you're ready to just kind of drop into stillness. And I was reading, of course, I always come back to these books, and, you know, as we talk to our family and our friends and even strangers, people that we don't know, pretty much everybody right now is having, maybe not necessarily a difficult time, but a confusing time in life. And this isn't new to the human existence, right? We have been here for thousands of years and been through so many different hardships as humans. So I love this wisdom from Jack Kornfield. He says, we can trust that the joy and the suffering given to us are what we need to awaken to freedom. Hardship and loss are the graduate school of trust. They teach us survival and a freedom that is unshakable. There is a force born in us from 1,000 generations of ancestors, survivors who have offered us life. Now it's our turn. Even when we've lost money, our job, or relationship, or hope, it is not the end. Like the grass that pushes through cracks in the sidewalk, trust can grow again. No matter how lost or desolate we may feel, something new awaits us, and life continues. So take a moment and just imagine that, the grass that pushes through the cracks of the sidewalks, even though they've been crushed with the heaviness of the cement and made to feel like that's the end, still find that light. They still find that crack to grow once again. So take a moment to just welcome that idea into your body. Maybe it's with a sigh out through the mouth. Maybe it's a reminder to you, or maybe it's something that you already knew. But on the other side of the hardship, on the other side of the difficult times in our lives, is a beautiful new rebirth. And sometimes it's hard to remember when we are here in the labor pains. So allow yourself to trust the present moment as we move through this practice, and give yourself the ability to rest when you need, to breathe when you need, to feel all of the things that you need to feel. Let them move through you. And let the practice be the gift you give to yourself today. If the sound of the ocean is a calming reminder, begin to bring that into your breathing in Ujjayi Pranayam. And whatever orientation you're in, perhaps you're able to connect your hands to your heart, or you're able to send your awareness to your heart. Welcome an intention, a sankalpa, for your practice. Take a few more moments to just be. And then begin to welcome some movement into your body from whatever orientation you have decided to begin. Just let it be almost as if you're waking up again on this day, so that you can just let your body gracefully and quietly come into the practice. We all know how awful it is to be, startled awake, and we don't want to just jump right into our practice in that same way. So just kind of pleasantly invite your body into the physical aspect of the practice. Take about 5 more breaths wherever you are, and then start to move to the next place that makes sense in your body. And just feel free to have the strap, the blocks nearby. If you don't have anything that resembles blocks or a strap, don't worry. Or if you want to go grab like a kitchen towel, that will work for a strap, or a necktie or something like that. Take 5 breaths in whatever place you've landed. And then gradually make your way to downward facing dog. So instead of just jumping into down dog first, we've been just gently making our way here. And since we're in a level 2 flow, I know this isn't your first down dog ever, right? And hopefully not your last, but it is the only one in this moment. So feel your body in this down dog. Be aware of your muscles and where they're firing up. Be aware of your muscles and where they are lengthening and stretching. Be aware of your hands pressing down into the earth and your feet reaching towards the mat. Be aware of the length of your spine and your breath as it inflates this pose, and your breath as it anchors this pose back down to the earth. Busy yourself with being in this down dog as if it is the most amazing thing that's ever happened to you. This is how we find ourselves: present, awake, aware. One more breath, just busying yourself with being here, and then slowly start to walk your way to the top of the mat, coming to a forward fold. And pour yourself forward, Uttanasana. Let the head completely release, all of the weight draining down to the earth. And then touch the shins, come to a halfway lift, reach the crown of the head forward. And then bowing back down, Uttanasana. Anchor into the feet, come the whole way up to standing. Draw the arms upward, and then gather the hands to the heart center. Steady yourself, pause here at the top of the mat. And then bring your arms down by your sides, even though you've probably done a million sun salutation A, this is the only one that's happening now. Arms sweep to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, a little bend into the knees as you fold forward, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, coming to Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, bowing forward. Plant the hands, step back to plank, and pause in your plank. Busy yourself in your plank. Perhaps the knees take a root, and that's where this day is for you. Or if the knees are up, imagine 4 corners with the hands, the feet, and then pull all of that energy into Samana Vayu, into the belly, that gathering, the coiling, the drawing in. And then Dhyana Vayu, the expansion of prana through the crown and back out through the heels. The grounding of Apana into the hands, into the feet. And then the rising prana into the back body. One last breath here. And then slowly take your descent the whole way down to the earth through Chaturanga Dandasana. Bhujangasana, one breath to unravel the shoulders, light a little fire in the low back. And then releasing your way back down to the earth. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. 3 breaths here in stillness and motion. Each time we land, a different pose, a different person. As time moves forward. Making your way to the top of the mat, walk, hop, landing, and halfway lift. Exhale to pour yourself out, bowing forward, drawing the energy, the awareness, rising up, Urdhva Hastasana. Take the energy back down to the earth as you fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, perhaps you hop it straight back, Chaturanga, Dandasana. Your heart opener. Drawing from the navel back to the spine, Adho Mukha Svanasana. 3 breaths to arrive. Each time we land here, different person, different experience, different pose. And making your way to the top of the mat. Rising up, we're going to take 2 more rounds. Go ahead and dive in for yourself. Maybe close your eyes for the whole round. Take 3 breaths in Adho Mukha. And take this last round with intention. If you set an intention for your practice today, keep it in your mind's eye while you roll through this round. Enjoy 3 breaths in downward facing dog. And then gradually making your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift and bow forward. Come the whole way back up to standing. This time bring your hands to your heart center. Pause for a moment, Samastitihi. And then draw your hands to your sides to adjust my having a little wardrobe malfunction. And set your feet for Utkatasana. So whether hips width distance or having those big toes touching. And then sit back as deeply as you can. Let your fingertips either touch blocks or come the whole way down to touch the earth. So you're really in a deep seated position. And again, you can have your blocks here. Take a moment to imagine that your feet have 4 corners and plug down into that. And from here, keep that energy in the legs, but then pull it up through the torso, up through the arms, crown of the head, into the fingertips. And again, you can always take the arms out to Prana Mudra, out to your goalpost, or keeping the arms up to the sky. Steady your gaze, steady the energy in the belly, that samana vayu, the pulling in, the coiling, the drawing of energy to your center. 1 more breath here. Steady gaze. And as you exhale, fold forward. You can move the blocks out of the way. Come to your halfway lift. Yogi's choice to down dog. Maybe you take the flow through. Shifting back, downward facing dog. Stepping the feet together at the back of the mat. Send your right leg up to the sky. And take a moment to keep the hips square. So pull your left hip crease back. And then imagine lengthening your right leg by beginning at your right hip. So the lengthening begins there and ends out beyond your right heel. Then rise as high as you can onto the ball of your left foot. Maybe that right leg lifts a little higher. Keep the left heel off of the mat, and then pull the right knee to the nose, round the spine. Hug the thigh as close to the belly as you can. Press the earth away, pause here. Breathe, don't hold the breath. Let the shakes and the quakes rise from the earth up into your body. And then using the exhalation, step your right foot the whole way through. Plant your left heel down for warrior one. Draw the right hip under. Imagine a straight line from the crown of the head to the heel. Pause here. And then slowly inhale, come the whole way up. Virabhadrasana 1. Then take your arms out to Prana Mudra or to goalpost. And you're going to take your right arm on top of your left, finding Garuda, eagle arms. As you inhale, stay in this deep warrior one, but lift the elbows up, coming into a little heart opening. And then unravel the arms, come back out, Prana Mudra. And then take the left arm on top of the right. Let the inhalation awaken the heart opener. And then exhale, unravel the arms. This time as you inhale, send all 10 fingers up. Welcome that little heart opening here. Let the exhalation bring your hands the whole way down to the mat. Pivot, send the right leg back, one-legged plank, and pause. So just like we found ourselves in plank, imagine these movements of prana gathering into the belly, expanding from the crown to the heels, anchoring down into the earth, even the right toes, making an imaginary connection down. And then the prana lifting you away from the mat. One more breath here. Let the right toes touch, and then take your dip down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, gather samana in the belly. Draw the hips up and back, Adho Mukha, Svanasana. One breath to land. Step the feet together. Send the left leg to the sky. Again, just pause, notice if the hips are open on the left side, and draw the right hip crease back. And then imagine lengthening the left leg by beginning at the left hip and sending a straight line beyond the left heel. Now rise up onto the ball of the right foot. The left leg gets a little higher. Hips continue squaring here. On your next exhale, pull the knee to the nose. Squeeze all of the breath out of the body. Keep pressing firmly down into the hands. Steady, strong arms. Let the exhalation bring the left foot the whole way through. Plant the right heel down. Take a moment, draw the left hip under. Root to rise. Virabhadrasana 1. Steady the gaze as you open the arms out, Prana Mudra. And then exhale, take the left arm on top of the right. Inhale, keep the left knee tracking over the left heel and draw a heart opener by lifting the elbows away from the chest. Exhale, the legs remain steady. Open the arms up and out. And then right arm comes on top of the left. Inhale to lift the elbows. Welcome a little opening across the chest. And then unwind, arms unravel. This time, sweeping up beyond the fingertips, gazing up, heart lifting. Exhale, hands come down to the earth. Send the left foot back, hovering just an inch off of the mat. And find these movements, these actions that bring you right into the center of the pose. Pulling and gathering, extending, rooting, rising. Everything working together. One last breath. Left toes touch, Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha and Adho Mukha. 3 breaths in down dog. Each time we land, finding different version. And after your 3rd round of breath, your pathway to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, pour yourself forward. Bend the knees, sit deeply, Utkatasana, sweeping the arms up to the sky, reaching beyond the fingertips. And exhale, folding back in, Uttanasana, straightening the legs, bowing down. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, take it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha. And Adho Mukha. Inhale, right leg sweeps to the sky. Get high onto the ball of the left foot. And step your right foot the whole way through. Drop anchor, warrior 1. Rise up. Inhale, past the crown of the head, past the fingertips. Exhale, take the arms out, prana mudra. Draw the right arm on top of the left, lifting your heart, lifting your gaze. Now, keep plugging into the left foot as you exhale. Unwind the arms, reach back behind you, interlace your fingers, and fold forward inside of your right leg. Inhale as you rise up, take the same right arm on top. Draw yourself up to that heart-opening warrior. Exhale, press back into the left foot, intertwine the fingers, fold forward, humble warrior. Again, rising up, right arm on top, legs remaining steady. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale this time, rising to warrior 1. Sending everything up. Exhale, hands release to the earth. One-legged plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Your pathway to down dog. One reminder, these flows are optional. Left leg sweeps following the inhalation. Get high onto the ball of the right foot. And then pull the left leg through. Drop anchor right heel, warrior 1, rising up. Open prana mudra. Left arm comes on top of the right. Let the inhalation pull the heart opener in. Exhale as you anchor back into the right foot, unravel, interlace, fold forward inside of the left leg. Again, rising, left arm on top of the right. Exhale, folding, interlace, bowing in. Last time. This time as you rise back up, send all fingers, gaze to the sky. And then hands come to the earth. Take it back, your flow. Three breaths to land, to absorb. And then making your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift and bow forward. Bend the knees, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Adha Mukha. Right leg rises. High onto the ball of the left foot. Exhale, step it through. Plant the left heel down. Come up with the right arm on top, Garuda in warrior. Exhale, fold forward, interlace, bow in. Harnessing back into the left foot, rise up, all 10 fingers to the sky. Exhale the whole way to Chaturanga Dandasana, following the exhalation. Your pathway back to down dog. Left leg rises, right heel lifts. And step it through. Left arm on top as you rise, warrior one at the base. Eagle at the top. Exhale, fold forward, interlace, bow inside of the thigh. Rising back up, Vira one. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Continuing this cycle. When you land in down dog, right leg rises. Exhale, step it through. Warrior one, eagle arms, right arm on top. Humble warrior, send weight back into the left foot, bow in. Warrior one, set it free, up to the sky. Chaturanga Dandasana to the earth. Immersing yourself in this continuous flow. Left leg lifts, right heel rises. And step it through. Left arm on top, full inhalation. Exhale, drop anchor in the right heel and fold. Inhale, rising back up to the surface. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. One more round self-led. Slow it down even more, right leg. And you complete in your back and down dog. Take 3 breaths. Notice this down dog for the difference of any of the previous ones, today or any other time. And then make your way to the top of the mat. Ardha Uttanasana. Uttanasana fold. Utkatasana, bend the knees. Sweep the arms up. Gather the hands to the heart. Come the whole way to standing. Pause. Honor where you are. Sweep the arms back up to the sky. Follow the exhale down to the earth. Step your way back to plank. And take a nice slow release down to the earth. Once you land, go ahead and roll over onto your back. Take a moment to windshield wiper your leg or hug your knees into your chest, whatever feels intuitive. And we're going to be working 2 different shapes in our core cultivation, right? So we're going to be doing Baddha Konasana, which is our butterfly kind of shape. And we're going to be doing our Malasana shape. So we're going to begin first with Baddha Konasana. So bring the soles of the feet together, knees are apart. Bring your hands to cradle your head. So we're going to be moving through both of those poses, kind of alternating. So as you inhale, lower the shape of Baddha Konasana to the earth. And as you exhale, draw it back up. As you inhale, lower down with the soles of the feet touching. But then this time, as you lift the legs, create Malasana, take the feet apart and reach your arms through, bringing your knees outside of your triceps. And then slowly lower it back down. Bring your hands to your head. Bring the soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana, pressing the belly down, bringing the knees to the triceps. Keep the feet together as you lower. As you exhale, Malasana at the base, bringing the elbows inside of the thighs. Keeping that Malasana as you lower. As you pull in, soles of the feet touch, Baddha Konasana. Slowly lower. Malasana at the base, reaching through. And finding your rhythm. Maybe closing your eyes, or this is turning in to your own flow. Don't worry if it looks different than what we started with. Just continue to awaken the energy in the belly. Soften the brow. Take one more of each variation. And then plant the feet down. Bring your arms out to a T and windshield wiper your legs. And then reset, feet, hips width distance apart, sliding the heels back towards the sits bones. Bring your arms down by your sides. Now awakening the back body through some moving bridges. So try not to look towards the screen if you want to watch me first. The arms and the legs are going to move together. So as you press down into the feet, lifting the hips, when you get to the halfway point, the fingertips are to the sky. And as you press into the feet, sending the shins, the knees forward, getting to the peak, the backs of the hands are above the head on the earth. And then slowly coming back down. And imagine, although we know how difficult it really is to place one vertebra at a time on the earth, just imagine slowly peeling it up as best as you can so that you can dig so deep into the belly, into the core, into the back body, igniting the glutes. And just take 2 more rounds. And when you get to the second round, feel free to bring the arms down, interlacing the hands underneath you and staying in your bridge, or keeping the hips up, plant the hands by the ears, and rise up into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Stay in whatever variation you've chosen for 2 more full breaths. And then slowly releasing, coming back to our counter posing of windshield wipering the legs. And just take a moment to notice any awakened buzzing or prana in the core area, just kind of awakening. And then straighten the legs out. And just roll yourself back over onto your belly. Press the earth away, rising up to plank. And exhaling back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Feel free to let it go out through the mouth and retain. And then sweep the right leg up to the sky. 3-legged dog, high onto the ball of the left foot. Exhale to step the right foot the whole way through. Drop anchor, warrior 1. Right arm coming on top of the left. Lifting the elbows. And then coming back to center, you're going to start to send the weight forward into the right foot. Start to drag the left toes and pull the left knee up. Preparing for Garuda Eagle. So as you're ready, think Utkatasana in the right leg as you bend the knee, cross the left thigh on top. Maybe let the toes find the mat as you get your balance, hugging the inner thighs. Maybe the left toes stay rooted, or you pick them up, or you tuck them behind the calf as long as it brings no discomfort to your knee. Pull your elbows a little further away from your heart. If you want to fold forward, feel free to go into that little seed shape. One more breath. We're going to slowly draw the left knee back up. And as you plant the left foot down, unravel the arms out to Prana Mudra and sit Utkatasana. Bring your hands to your heart center. Rise up onto the balls of the feet and slowly descend down to toe stand. So same shape we were just experiencing in our core cultivation. Bring the heels together, knees apart, Baddha Konasana, hands to the earth. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, move in, Bakasana. Totally up to you. We've been doing a lot of jumping back to Chaturanga. Perhaps you've been doing that on your mat. So if you want to play with that hopping from Bakasana back to Chaturanga. Feel free. Whatever way, shape, or form you'd like to return back to down dog. Take a few more breaths, explore, play, enjoy. When you return to down dog, take a moment and then send the left leg to the sky. Lifting the right heel high, make space and step through. Right heel roots, left arm on top. So setting up from here, get a little heart opening first, and bringing the torso upright, dristy set. Shifting the weight into the left foot, pulling the right knee up. Take a moment, get your bearings, find your balance. Think Utkatasana in the left leg as you sit back into Garudasana. Hugging the inner thighs, pulling the elbows away from the heart. And totally up to you if you stay here or you bow forward. Notice if you're holding your breath. And we're going to slowly come back up. Take the arms out to Prana Mudra and lift the right knee up. But now, instead of going to Utkatasana, you're going to step the right foot wide. Turn the toes out, bend the knees, and sink in to Malasana. So maybe you take a little shoulder twisting through the spine. And maybe you stay here in this kind of midway Malasana. Maybe you feel like kind of heel toeing the feet in and coming down to your yogic squat. So if you want to play with taking it into the arm balance, the blocks can come in handy if they're nice sturdy blocks. And you place them vertically behind the heels. Toes are out to about 11 and 1. Bend the knees and sit back. So just like we were doing in our core cultivation, reaching through, right? So that's the first action, the reaching through. And then you turn the fingertips forward, sitting back, and maybe taking your flight into Bujapidasana. Squeezing the legs in, shoulder pressing pose. So finding that action, squeezing in. But think of the essence of our core cultivation where you are reaching through. And so one more breath. Slowly release, set it down. Untangle the arms, heel toe the feet so they're hips width distance. Take a nice bend into the knees and slide the hands underneath the feet, Padahastasana. So maybe the belly, the ribs are resting on the thighs. Let your head hang heavy. And play with even just gently bringing the weight forward into the balls of the feet. So you're getting a little added stretch into the wrists. One last breath here. Go ahead and release the hands. Halfway lift. And then your pathway to down dog. If the flow feels like a cleanse, or just step it straight back. Pause and down dog. And then go ahead and send your right leg up to the sky. And bend your knee, open your hip this time. Feel free to shake it out, circle it around. Work out the toes, the ankle. And then go ahead and straighten out the right leg, get high onto the ball of the left foot, and step the whole way through. So before you come up, if you'd like to use a strap, we're going to play with two different variations of birds of paradise. So you're going to want to have the strap kind of near your right foot. Plant your left heel down for warrior two. And then rise on up. Take a moment to get steady. I'm wondering if I'm frozen. Are we good?
Yes, you're good.
Perfect. I think just Marla might be frozen. That's okay. Sweet. All right, so coming up to your warrior two. And then flip the right palm. Just cruise back to reverse. And just take a couple rounds of this flushing out, coming forward to side angle. Feel free to do whatever feels good with your arms. If you want to take these full circles, because we did a lot of sort of shoulder opening with our eagle arms and our reaching behind and our forward folds and our humble warrior. So just take a couple of rounds to unravel. And then the next time that we come forward, I'm going to use the strap. You certainly don't have to. But if you're going to use the strap, you're going to bring it in front of your right foot, bring it into your right hand. And then take it underneath your right thigh. Take your left hand back, hand it to your left hand. And then you can use as much of it as you need, but it's essential that the strap is underneath your thigh, right? Not in your crotch, because you won't be able to lift your torso up, right? Just your leg. So make sure it's under your right thigh. Look forward over the right toes. And then that same kind of stepping forward we did to get to eagle, press into the right foot, step the left foot up. Make sure that the left foot is under the left hip. And then pull from the belly, using the strap under the thigh to slowly rise up to your birds of paradise. Take a moment to steady. Maybe using that right arm to take the right knee a little further out. Maybe to straighten that right leg out to the side. And then slowly step it back down. You can keep the embrace and step your way back. Check out your legs. Make sure you get back to that shape of warrior two. And then roll yourself open for one breath, turning your gaze upward. and then go ahead, release the strap. Turn, frame out to your right foot, pivot onto the ball of the left foot. Good. And then from here, you're going to lower your left knee down. So your strap may be nearby. Bring it over now on the outside of the right foot, if it isn't there already. So we're going to play with coming into the twist and come into this kind of funky reverse birds of paradise, okay? So go ahead and pick up your left knee and rise up to a lunge. You can keep the left knee down, totally up to you. That might be easier for you to get into the embrace. Bring your hands to your heart center. And then we're going to pivot and bring the left elbow across. So here's where we're going to use the strap. So you can pick it up with the right hand, put it in the left hand, and just let it kind of hang. Draw your right arm up to the sky. And then as you reach your right arm behind you, actually, it might be easier to bring the strap into your right hand, now that I'm thinking of it. So drop the strap behind you, and you might need to kind of just move it over. So now it's underneath your right thigh. And bring your left arm back around and find the strap. So you can get it as short or as long as you need. And then maybe pick up the back knee. Yeah, I know it's kind of funky. So maybe you play with this kind of funky birds of paradise. Look forward to the right foot. Slowly step the left foot up to meet the right. So the strap is under the right thigh, not under the crotch. Shift the weight over into the left foot, and then we bring the right knee up. So the strap is under the right thigh. Boom, good. Draw the right shoulder back. Maybe you straighten the right leg. See what happens. Good. And then rebend the right knee Step that right foot back down. Take a big step back with the left foot. Release your strap. Maybe spread your wings. And then frame out the right foot. Lower the left knee down. Straighten the right leg and fold in. You can choose, right, where your body is wanting to go. You can stay here, marinate the hamstring. Or if you want to find some movement, moving between Viagri, right, where the knee goes under the right armpit and you kind of sink in so you get into the hip, you could stay here. Or you can dance between both, shifting back to Ardha Hanuman and forward to Viagri. Or a hybrid. Maybe close your eyes and notice if you've been holding your breath, right? That funky, revolved kind of birds of paradise. We can be thinking so much and just kind of forget to breathe. My mom used to love to take pictures of me when I danced as a kid because I always had my tongue sticking out because I was thinking so hard. I probably wasn't breathing. And then you decide how you'd like to get to the second side. If there's a flow, if there's a child's pose, anahata, whatever makes sense. And we gradually bring it back up to downward dog. Again, feeling different. You're in a different place than the last down dog. Maybe that was the first time you ever did that pose. Maybe you haven't seen it in a long time. Maybe you did it yesterday. This pose, this down dog we're in now, we're different. So sending the left leg to the sky, give it a moment to open. Bend the knee, open the hip. And then straightening the leg back out, getting high onto the ball of the right foot and pulling through. So again, just kind of making sure the strap is nearby. Anchor into the right foot for warrior two. And enjoy a few moments of just kind of freedom here. Between your reverse, your side angle. Just slowly dancing between the two. And the next time you come to side angle, this is where we're going to pause. So catching the strap. And as you take the left hand, kind of tucking it under and passing it to the right hand. And then just seeing how much strap you need, but making sure it's under your thigh. So take a moment, get situated. And then we begin the movement of turning down towards the left foot and stepping the right foot up. So think about the little Utkatasana as you sit back, get steady in the right foot, and then all of the core awareness that we created on our backs, using that to pull the left knee up. Kind of using your left hand to draw your knee a little further out to the side. Maybe play with extending it out. One more breath. And you're going to set the left foot back down. Take a big step back with the right foot. Catch a moment in your side angle. And then while you have the strap under the thigh, just place it down. As you pivot around onto the ball of the right foot and frame out your left foot. So go ahead and lower the right knee down. And slowly rise up. So setting up for this kind of twisted and then into the funky revolved birds of paradise, draw the right elbow across. So you've got the strap kind of underneath the left thigh. So you can reach with the right hand and catch the strap, and then take the left arm around. And you may need to kind of reach your right hand inside of your left leg, hand the strap to your left hand. Bring your right hand back and catch the strap. And then play with your shoulder flexibility and how much you can use of the strap or shorten. And then maybe pick up the right knee. And just take a moment to get adjusted in the shoulders with the strap. Think of it as an embrace instead of a bind. Bind sounds so like, ugh. Take your gaze forward over your left toes. Draw the navel in and step the right foot up. So you still have the strap under the left thigh. Look down. Weight over into the right foot. Samana Vayu, pull the belly up and in. Ground into the right foot. Maybe you rise up. Right, so it's like that Pavrita Uttita Hastapada Bhuskasan that we do sometimes. Maybe you straighten the left leg out. One more breath. And then re-bending the left knee, set it down. Take a big step back with the right foot. Release the strap. Maybe send the left arm up, kind of free the arm. And then as the left hand comes down, frame out the left foot, lower the right knee. And then you have your choice here. Shifting back into your hamstring, moving forward into Vyagri. And again, just kind of notice if you were holding your breath. Sometimes when we get into difficulties, we hold our breath. And we see that on the mat, and we can know that when we get into difficulties in life, we tend to do that too. And that's what brings in the fear and the worry. To practice that here. One last breath, wherever you're playing. And then slowly bringing yourself back to a lunge on the left foot. Just slide your left knee back to meet your right. Take your knees nice and wide, heels together, that same shape of Bakasana, of Baddha Konasana, and sit back in the child's pose. Breathe in your practice. Breathe in the scent of your mat. Breathe in this moment. Slowly pressing into the hands. Make your way up. And you're just going to shift back over to one side so you can come and have a seat. And then come back to that Baddha Konasana shape. Soles of the feet together. And so we're going to play in the same family that we've been working in. So you can stay here. Again, there's so many options for this hip opener. You could just kind of stay and enjoy Baddha Konasana. But keep the right leg as it is and hug your left knee up. So the first idea is to bring the right hand to the heel as we're working towards Surya Yantrasana, right? Sundial. So maybe you circle around. Some people call it seated Vishumitrasana, whatever you want to call it. If you're really craving more of a pigeon shape, feel free to come here or just go down onto your mat and pigeon. That's the beautiful thing about being at home. You're doing what feels best to you. So maybe you stay here in this pigeon shape. Or you play with now taking the left arm and tucking it under. And then bringing the left hand down. Flip the right hand on top of the pinky toe side of the foot. And rather than like cranking yourself open, what if you just kind of slowly lift the leg like an inch or so? And then bring it back down. And then maybe if there's more space, you can lift a little bit more. Maybe you gradually peel yourself up and open. Using your left arm to press back into that inner left thigh. And then slowly release. Go ahead and bring the left arm back through. Come back to Baddha Konasana. Just fold forward. Round the spine, draw the chin to the chest. Draw yourself back up. Just think about kind of making this wheel, this water wheel shape of folding in and pulling the chin to the chest, or wherever you are, it feels good in your body. So maybe you take this into a pigeon on the second side, or you keep the left leg as it is, rising up, hugging the right knee in. You can play with just kind of moving some energy into the hip. Finding the seated pigeon here. Or again, you can always transfer yourself the whole way down into your pigeon. We're playing with just this slow movement into sundial. So the right arm coming under. So it's the same idea, right? Trying to get it in this inner, the back of the thigh area, like we did for our birds of paradise. And maybe taking the left hand across. And try to take the struggle out of it. So if you're here and there's so much struggle that you're holding your breath, take it back, right? Or begin that slow unraveling. We know how slowly the caterpillar moves into being a butterfly. So it doesn't have to be this spontaneous kind of explosion. Just taking your time. Using your right arm, pressing into the right leg, creating a bandha there. And slowly releasing. Coming back to that shape of Baddha Konasana one more time. And then bringing the hands back behind you. You're going to pick up the feet and find like a seated malasana. So the feet are wider than hips width distance. And just windshield wiper your legs. To the left and to the right. Let your head turn opposite direction. And just kind of adding a little twisting action into the spine. Variation of a twist. If you get to one side and it feels nice to stay there, maybe even sweep the arm up and over in the opposite direction. Doing what feels organic and fluid in your body. And gradually bringing the feet back together. And just taking a slow roll down to the back. Once you land, just pause for a moment. And if you're like, oh, Shavasana, I hear you calling, then be here. Or if you'd like to move into an inversion of your choice, or maybe move to legs at the wall for 5 to 7 breaths. Moving into shoulder stand, or if taking Shirshasana, your headstand is not a really big struggle, but it feels grounding, then you could take a headstand. If you've taken legs at the wall or shoulder stand, welcome halasana, cloud pose. Maybe even pausing as you draw the shoulder blades under the back, interlace the fingers, and press your fists down to the mat as you send the heels, the toes, back to the wall behind you. And then slowly unraveling and making your way down to the mat. Any concluding movements to come to your version of Shavasana. You've been welcoming the sound of the ocean into your practice, then releasing that restriction of the breath in the back of the throat, and letting the steady ease of your natural breath float back to the surface. As you arrive, just feel your body where it's touching the earth, and sense your breath, and have gratitude for the 15,000 breaths you take each day. Feel for the sound of your heart, and have gratitude for the 90,000 times a day it beats. Digestion, heart, breath, all operate in a completely trustworthy manner. This system inside of us can also be seen around us: the earth, the plants, the trees, the cycling of the days, the turning of the seasons, the sparkling stars wheeling above as the world turns. Sense a trust that you're part of something vast, an unfolding of life itself. Rest in this. You're part of a long chain of humans, part of something great. The lineage of life brought you this human birth. It will carry you through the ups and downs for years and years. Breathe deep in the rhythms of life. Relax into the rhythms of life. Trust into the rhythms of life. The greatest Zen masters say, enlightenment is fulfilled by the trusting heart. You have the place and the time to stay in Shavasana. Feel free to be as you are. Begin your journey, awakening the body, be exhaling through the mouth, gradually making your way to pause on your right side, trusting into your place on this earth on this very day. Moving your way to a comfortable seat, connecting your hands to your heart center in whatever fashion. Soaking up these last sparkling moments of your practice. Any peace, any calm, any quiet that your practice handed you today. Keep it with you as you move back into the ups and downs of life. Remember, it's always there. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.